honor your time. All right, it is October 7th, and this is our first official call, even though the program has already launched in our leadership program with Growth U. And first of all, I want to acknowledge you all for investing in yourselves with your money, with your time to do this program. And my goal for all of you is that at the end of the 45 days, you are really feeling great about this program, about having a game plan moving forward, and really understanding what it takes to be a good leader. And I think, one of the main reasons we wanted to do this program, and John's on the line, and I saw, John, your mom got on and got off. I think she has very bad cell phone coverage where she is, but one of the reasons John and Susan and I wanted to bring this program to you is because when we coach our team, when we coach our clients, so many of them do not see themselves as a leader. And they look to their upline to be the leader, and that's great. I mean, I always want my team to come to me, and I am their leader, and I want to be their leader, but my goal is to empower them so that they can stand on their own and that their team views them as a leader. And that's what we want for all of you. We want you guys to be the leader for your team. We want your team members to look at you like you're the one that can help them. And sure, your upline will get involved and help you every step of the way, but our goal is that you really step into leadership, because another question that I get constantly is, how do I attract leaders? How many of you guys would love to attract more leaders into your team? Yeah, I figured about every single hand would go up. Yeah, 2 hands. Absolutely. And the way to do that, is to be the leader you want to attract. And for those of you that follow me, you've heard me say that over and over and over again. And I paid a lot of money to get that advice when I was coaching with Jeffrey Combs. And he used to tell me, Cindy, if you want to attract great people into your business, you have to be that kind of leader. You can't expect to attract unbelievable leaders into your team if you are not that kind of a leader. So it really made me look into myself and internally, and look into myself to see what could I be doing differently that will help me attract greater people into my organization. So I'm going to start with a couple of housekeeping things. Those of you that are in the Facebook group, have you turned your notifications on? Do you get notifications when we post in there, when I do a live video? I see a few heads nodding, but I know I talked to my kids today, and 2 of my kids are in this program, and they're like, I'm not getting notifications, Mom. And I'm like, all right, you got to go in there and click on notifications, because I think now the default is that you won't get notified because we're in so many groups. So for this one, we want you guys to get your notification. I did a live the other day, and I had like 5 views. It was ridiculous for the amount of people we have in the group. So I don't want you to miss any important information. We may do things where we want you to do something above and beyond what's in the group. We might want to do a little incentive or something like that. So if you're not seeing our posts and you're not able to be engaged in the group, you're going to miss out. So be sure that you are getting all of the notifications. And like anything else, you guys, whatever you put into this is going to be what you get out of it. So I've had a couple people say to me, this is taking me a little more time than I thought. And that's because they're really taking their time journaling. You could fly through this program and just do and type away, do quick answers, and be done with it in 5 minutes every day. But I want more for you guys. I really want you to take your time and journal, think things through. When they ask you for your visions on things and your goals on things, really think things through and journal. And if you don't have time and you're really one of those competitive people that want to get your work done every day because you know that We can all see each other's team standings. So if you're not getting your work done and you're not getting it done on time, we can all see that. So if that's something that kind of irks you and you're competitive and you want to get it done, and maybe you have to, not do it as well as you would prefer, go back in the next day and you can change your answers and add a little more TLC to it and spend some time in there and really get it to the point where you're proud of it. And what we really want for you guys to do is set goals. So this leadership program is meant to help you with your Isagenix business. That's why you're here. This is meant to help you with your business, but it will help you in other areas of your life too. We're leaders in more than just Isagenix. We're leaders in our homes. We're leaders with our circle of influence. How many of you guys have a perfect example? Jen Gardner, you're in the middle of my screen. I don't know if you're in the middle of anyone else's screen, but perfect example. Jen, I don't know if she realized what a circle of influence she had, but on one of our Growth U calls, I can't remember what even program it was because we've done several programs now, she recommended a book called Girl, Wash Your Face. She recommended the book. How many people have now gotten that book on our team, read that book? I'm on it for the second time, got the audio, absolutely obsessed with Rachel Hollis now. I literally was in Austin. I messaged her and asked her to run with Susan and I because she's a runner. I wanted her to come to our Growth U event because she's into personal development big time. And how many of us did that because one person with her realm of influence recommended something? So be thinking about that, guys, and set your goals. Set your goals for your business. Hopefully you're all working through a 90-day action plan because that's what we're doing as a company. So if you're not writing your goals down, if you're not sharing them, you're going to have a hard time achieving them. So be sure that you guys are writing those goals down and then really putting your time and effort into this program so that you will get the absolute most out of it. So what I want to do is start off interactive here, and I would love for you to raise your hands, but then if anyone wants to share, I'd love some feedback. I really want this to be an interactive call. How many of you guys already view yourself as a leader? How many? And be honest, if you don't, it's okay. All right, so not every hand went up. All right, for those of you that don't view yourself as a leader quite yet, do you want to share? I know this is kind of vulnerable, but would anyone like to share why that is and why you're doing this program and how we can help you at the end of this, make you raise your hand to say, I view myself as a leader? Would anyone be willing to share? Just have to unmute your line. I know it's kind of personal.
I'll go.
Thank you.
I am told that I am a leader by some leaders, but I don't feel like I am. I've never been, it's horrible to say, but I've never been a goal setter. I've never set goals for myself. I've kind of gone through, I worked in corporate America. I had 100 people that I oversaw in different customer service departments. But I never had goals. I just kind of did it. I just kind of did I just did everything. I don't know. I just feel like I'm one of them. I don't feel like I am a good teacher. I guess that's really what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm not a good teacher. So to me, a leader is a teacher, someone who can take what I know and teach it to the people that I'm bringing in to do it the way that I do it. I really need to work on just like right now speaking. I'm just not a good speaker. I know what I want to say. I just can't get it out right. So, it frustrates me.
Yep. And so my first advice to you is going to be just work on that mindset around what you're telling yourself. If you led 100 people, that's why people tell you you're a leader, because not everybody can lead 100 people. That's a tall order. So oftentimes we don't view ourselves that way, and we speak that into existence. And have you guys all done Healthy Mind and Body? Have you guys all heard what you focus on, you find, what you focus on becomes real? All of that teaching of what Rod says really is so true. If we focus on the fact that we don't view ourselves as a leader, guess what? We're not going to become that leader we want to be. But I can tell you this, if you've led 100 people, you are fully capable of being a leader here in your Isagenix business and everywhere. So that's just really going to be some mindset, training for yourself, some really digging deep within and figuring out why you feel that way and changing it. And honestly, it's just creating some new habits so that you really feel like you're a leader. And that's why you're here. And that's what I'm so grateful you shared, because that is a vulnerable thing to do, but we can help you with that. And you just do the work every single day. And honestly, by the end of this program, I hope to hear you raise your hand and say, I am a leader and I feel great about it. So, and let us know, guys, we're here to coach you. So during this program, if you hit a roadblock, if you have a day and you're just like, this work didn't settle well with me, I'm not feeling great about this, you can reach out to John, Susan, or I anytime, and we're going to be here to coach you through that and help you, because we are certified mindset coaches with Growth U. We get this stuff. We live it every single day, and that's our job, is to help you see yourself as the leader that you're intended to be. So thank you so much for sharing, Robin. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Cindy, can I just reply to Robin for a second?
Please.
Okay, because when someone's saying they don't view themselves as a leader and then they're leading 100 people in a corporate situation, I'm thinking, Robin, that you're not thinking that you're an influencer. Okay. And really, so you're a leader. We're all leaders, right? But when we're leading in a business like this, our goal to be a better leader is to be able to influence people. And it's by doing the do, really. So as you're doing this, we're learning so many things. But I was thinking about it today. I just ran this really beautiful 10-mile race in the White Mountains in New Hampshire. And honestly, I haven't run in a year. So I still call myself a runner. But like inside, I've been sick, and that's why I haven't been, running. But I've been running here and there, but I haven't raced in a year. And so I kind of have not been feeling authentic, because even though I'm a runner, I haven't been running. So I feel like I'm not like leading the way. Does that make sense? So I just knew I had to get back in the game. And I'll tell you, it was not easy. I don't know what I thought, but I didn't know I'd be running about 3 miles straight up a ski mountain. The first 3 miles, I'm not kidding you. I was like, I thought, what did I get myself into? But here's the thing. I did it, and it was really difficult. And I was going, oh my gosh, you're crazy. Like, this is your comeback run. And, but I feel so much more authentic. So I just think that you're definitely a leader. And maybe you don't feel like it because you're not doing what you would want your people to do right now. Sometimes we're slacking off. I know I need to be myself, enrolling more people right now, but it's being able to influence by doing the do. So sometimes that helps you. I mean, this program is amazing. I'm going through it myself and taking a million notes on the side because I love the content so much. But you'll get that and you'll know that. But it's just about you doing the do as well. Mm-hmm. And that's going to help, I think, solidify you feeling like you're a leader. I hope that makes sense.
It does. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Great feedback. All right. And one of the things that Growth U is really wonderful about, and I've had people complain to me about the programs being repetitive, and the reason there's science behind this. The reason they're repetitive and some of the questions you'll answer every single day is because that helps you create the habit. So it's just like, if you go to the gym and you're doing the same workouts, I mean, we like to change things up in the gym, but the whole, you're going to the gym because you want to create that habit habit of making workout your identity. It is the same thing with this. So you're going to want to do this program day in and day out, whether you feel like it or not. So in the beginning, we're all excited about this new program. I got a lot of feedback in the beginning. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is just what I needed. And then, if you haven't hit it yet, you're probably going to hit it next week where you're going to be like, oh, I don't have time for this. I've got a million other things I need to be doing. I really don't want to be journaling. And so you have to push through that, because that might be your hesitation in moving forward with it. But that's where you'll see your breakthrough on the other side of that. So that's where you guys are really going to have to push through when those feelings start to come. And they will. They absolutely will. All right, so one of the things that they talk a ton about, and you'll see it throughout this whole program, we saw it this week, is to have role models. So what you're going to want to do is look to the role models that you really want to emulate. And I'll share some of mine with you. When I got started in this business, that right away, soon after we got started, Lynn Hagedorn was in the business, and she rose to millionaire in 14 months. And we were just, jaws dropping. Oh my gosh, how did she do that? So I watched her, I followed her, and I tried to emulate what she was doing. Now I have leaders like I absolutely adore Hillary Courtney, Trudy Maples, her sister Tanya Kirkpatrick. I love Laura Stevens. There's so many leaders now that I look to, and I'm like, you know what? Those are the leaders that I want to model, I want to emulate. And that helps you grow. So if you're feeling a little bit like, I'm just not where I want to be at all, that's fine. Look to the leaders that do it the way you want to do it. We're all different. So you're gonna learn some things from me, and some of you are going to be really attracted to the way that I do things. Some of you are going to be more in alignment to the way John does things, and some of you are going to be more in alignment with the way Susan does things, and that's fine. And that's why we wanted to have some co-teachers here, so it wasn't just one of us. There's 3 of us here, so you should be able to, emulate and work with one of us, and one of us is going to speak your love language and really be able to help you with this program. But think in the whole company. Who do you really look up to? Does anyone want to shout out some role models that you have?
Tracy O'Malley.
Tracy O'Malley. Oh, one of the biggest overcomers there is. Absolutely. She has gone through so much, and here she is still just an amazing leader. Great one.
I love her.
Mine is Susan Sly. She's like superhuman.
Yes. And I should have mentioned her. She is definitely on my list too. Love Susan Sly. Absolutely.
Mine is Lindsay Wynia.
Oh my gosh, I love Lindsay. Yeah, there's so many. I my list is like this long. Lindsay is we're very good friends, but we're very, very different. She just, says it how it is, and she doesn't care if it's going to offend you or hurt your feelings. She knows you need to hear it, and she's going to say it the way that it is. I respect that so much in her. Absolutely. Any others?
Zach and Eden Slobin. I love them.
Zach and Eden. Honestly, there's very few people who present like Zach Slobin on stage, and he just gets you. He just knows what to say, when to pause, so it really gets absorbed into your soul. Oh, he's definitely a favorite. Any others?
The McLeods.
McLeods. The cutest couple, I'm telling you, young couple, really giving it all they have to have a life of freedom. How awesome at their very young age to be married, to be full-time working together. When they decide to have children, they're going to both be home with their babies. Oh my gosh, and they're such an inspiration. And one thing that all of these leaders have in common is they're abundant. They are willing to share with you whatever they're doing. They want you to emulate them. They want to see you succeed. They want to help you. Awesome. Awesome. One more?
Kathy Coover.
Kathy Coover. Yep. She is just so elegant and so smart. I love the fact, guys, I've spent 20 years in 2 different companies, and I've met the owners of those companies, and I can tell you this. It is very unique that the owner of our company trains us because she's been in the field for so many years. She's made every mistake we've made. And when you hear her story, how she could not stand to talk to people and get in front of a room, her greatest fear was presenting to people. And here she is talking in front of 15,000, 16,000 people live on live stream all the time now. Doesn't that give you hope that maybe if that's one of your fears, you can do it too? Yeah, so very cool. All right, one of the things I wanted to spend a little bit of time on today, because for those of you that have done, how many of you guys have done Growth U programs, whether it's Healthy Mind and Body, any of the others, Transform You, Four Colors, any of them? So several of you have. For those of you that haven't, I want to make sure you understand IE. Was anyone confused with IE when you were going through your programs, what that means? What IE means, Rod does these 4 colors, and they're a little different from David Woods, but they're the same thing. They're just different colors and explained a little bit differently. But IE means that you're internally motivated, but you're externally focused. And that is really where we want to grow into that. So for those of you that need outside people or things to motivate you, we really want you to learn how to be able to motivate yourself. And you can do this in a number of different ways, but we want you to be internally motivated and externally focused, because when you're a good leader, it is all about helping other people. The way that I've created so many executives is because I have poured into my team because I want to see them succeed. Not because I care if my title changes. There's not a promotion bonus. If I rank advance an executive, I don't get a bonus. It's not like I get something out of it. I want to rank advance executives because I want them to achieve the perks I get. I want them to get the 10% match. I hope you guys all understand that. When you get to executive, all of the people you've personally enrolled, however many times they've cycled in a week, you get an additional 10% match. That can be so huge. In the beginning, 1 extra cycle a week. Who doesn't like $54 extra in their magic money? Huh, Lisa Shesterkin? A little bit more, she calls it magic money. Who doesn't love that? But then it starts to grow, guys. As your organization starts to grow, as you start to create new leaders and emerging leaders, that starts to grow and grow and grow. And guys, I make an executive matches in a week, what most people would love to do in cycles in a week. And it's absolutely mind-blowing to me. The reason that's happened for me is not because I'm internally focused, it's because I'm externally focused. I really want to make a difference in people's lives. So as you're going through this leadership program, think about the people that you've enrolled already. How do you want to help them? And let's shout that out. Think about some people on your team. What would you like to do to help the people on your team? Let's have some shares.
I'll go.
Yeah.
So I have a small team page just for my personally enrolled, and it's been kind of slow and kind of crickets in there. I post things to inspire them, to help them, and it's not only just some of my business builders, but people that have had product experiences. So, they want to share, but they don't know, they're still quiet about it. So they haven't come out of the ISA closet yet. But I really want to focus on getting them paid, getting them cycling so that they can see that. So many of them are really struggling just to buy the products, and I just want to help them with that, and having their confidence lifted, and helping them to become leaders.
I was hoping one of you would say that. Thank you, Maureen. That should be something that is a goal for every single one of you, getting your people paid. And you want to do that as quickly as possible, but it's never too late to do it. So if you've got people that have been with you for a while and they're still not getting their products paid, just keep following up with them. I've had people that didn't explain it in the beginning because they didn't know any better. We get a lot of people that are product users. They weren't interested in the business. So when I explained to them in the very beginning about referral rewards, honestly, it went in one ear and out the other. Not because of anything that I did wrong. They just weren't ready to hear that. So you could always go back and say, you know, hey, Maria, I just want to let you know that when you got started, I really didn't quite understand the loyalty reward program we have and the referral reward program we have. Do you have 15 minutes we can hop on the phone and I can explain that to you? Because there is nothing more than I like than to get you your products paid for so you never have to pay for your products again. Do you think Maria's going to say, no, I don't want to meet with you, or I don't want to talk with you? She's going to be like, sure, I'll hear that out. And then when I get her on the phone, if she hasn't already done IsaBody, I'll explain loyalty rewards. Let's get you $600 a year in free products just for doing the IsaBody challenge. And then Maria, has anyone noticed your weight loss? Maria is one of our 100-pound club losers. I'm sure people notice her weight loss. So when I ask her that, she's going to be like, yeah, I've had a few people notice. Well, Maria, when people notice and they start to ask, I want you to understand we have these generous referral rewards, and you can get your products paid for by simply letting people know that if they get started and they are your accountability partners and they do this with you, you'll be able to get your products paid for. And guys, your upline is going to help you with this, with three-way calls. If you're not comfortable talking yet about this, if you're not, really comfortable with explaining this all, do a three-way call with your upline. That's what we're here for. We'll help you. You just provide us with the leads, the people that are asking, and that's our job to help you get them enrolled, because that is what we want. We want to get our people paid for. Thank you for bringing that up, Maureen. Who else? What else do you want to help your team with? How about, do you have any team members that maybe live paycheck to paycheck? Maybe they have some debt to pay off. We're attracting a lot of younger people that have massive student loan debt. We've got people that have mortgages that are incredibly high. Do you guys have anyone that you might want to help make an little extra money so they can pay down their debt? Anybody? All right, so that's something that we can help them do, but we have to be a little more bold in talking about the business. And this is going to be a shift you guys are going to start to notice. How many of you have been to an Essence Tour meeting so far? Have they been in your area? Anyone? Oh gosh, I'm so sad for you. Look in the back office. If they're anywhere near you, get there. I'm going out to the East Coast. We're doing some in the Massachusetts area. But look in your area, and if you can get there and get some people to these tours, go, because what the whole focus is, they're really wanting you to bring guests there, but we're talking about the products a little tiny bit. We're talking about the opportunity. The company is making a shift, and they want us to be more bold talking about the opportunity so that we can attract more entrepreneurs, so we can attract more leaders. So this program that we're doing right now could not have come at a better time, because you're going to see this shift. The incentive that they're going to be coming out with in January, I wish I knew. I swear I'd give you details if I know. I really don't know. But the reason they want us enrolling 15 people now, I believe, is because they want us to build leaders in the new year. They really want us to be attracting business builders into our business, entrepreneurs into our business, because it's always going to be a product-driven company. We're always going to want clients that we can help with their physical health, but we really want to be bolder about talking about the financial opportunity here. How many of you guys feel a little bit uncomfortable talking about the financial opportunity? Let's be honest. Quite a few. All right, and that's something that's going to require some practice, and it's something that, again, model people who are already doing it. I don't know if any of you guys follow Susan Miller. She's on Herb and Patty's team. That team is very opportunity driven. They talk a lot about it. They're not afraid about posting about it on Facebook. They're not afraid about, worried about what other people think. They're talking about it, and you're going to see this more and more. So it's something that, how do you get more comfortable doing things? Anything in life. How do you get more comfortable?
Repetition.
Repetition. Good answer. The more you do it, the more you'll get comfortable doing it. In the beginning, so many of us were nervous to share our 30-second story. The more you did it, the more you got comfortable doing it. So many people were nervous to do a sip and sample, a launch party, whatever you guys want to call them, happy, healthy hour. The more you do them, the more comfortable you get with it. The more you post on Facebook, the more comfortable you'll get with it. Same thing when it comes to the opportunity. You want to be a little more bold in sharing what this can do for people. Do you guys realize what an extra $500 a month can do for someone? I mean, statistically, it can save marriages. It can save families for staying together. That's a huge, huge thing. How about people that have incredible debt that they can't pay down? What would $500 a month do to help them pay down their credit card debt, their mortgage, whatever other car payments, what other debts they have? So we really need to get a little more comfortable with that, and you're going to learn some skills throughout this program that will help you do that. And the goal, again, is to be internally motivated and externally focused. If you guys spend your time focusing on the people you've already enrolled and how you can help them, your business will grow. Every rank advancement I have had is not because of my efforts. It's not. I mean, yes, I work hard. I enhance my skills. I'm in personal development constantly. I'm always in a program like this all the time. So yes, I'm working on myself constantly, but the reason my business grows, my title changes, is not on my efforts alone. It's because I really work with my team to rank advance them, to help them. And when I do that, it helps me as well. And that's why my favorite quote is, if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want. Okay? All right, so how many people feel like you need a little bit of help, that maybe you're a little more externally focused, where you need other people or things or programs to help motivate you? Does anyone feel like you're a little more externally focused? Yeah, a few people. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Nothing wrong with that at all. One of the things that we had a training on in Austin, we were just with the Growth U family. So Rod Hairston, his whole team, and on this color wheel, and I'll share the color wheel with you guys in this group. I'll show that to you, and you guys can even print it off. He talked about people that were externally motivated and externally focused, and how those are the people that are the most loving, wonderful people in the world. They want to help the world. They want to give products away. They just want to help everybody, but how that they really need to shift from being externally motivated to internally. And once that happens, that's where you'll see their leadership grow, and that's where they'll take their business to the next level. So that's going to be our goal with you guys, is get you to the point where by the end of the program, you're feeling like you can motivate yourself. Some of the things we do to motivate ourselves. How about some of you leaders like John and Susan? I don't see Susan. She keeps popping off because of her cell phone. John, what are some of the things you do to get yourself internally motivated?
For me, I mean, I've always kind of felt like I fell into that category more naturally, being internally motivated, but I guess it's just, I don't know, I do use external things like a lot of programs and books and stuff like that, but I just make sure that I don't let external things dictate my motivation. Like, I don't let what people think about me, or just external things that I can't control what motivates me. It's more so what I don't allow in rather than what I do allow in, you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yep, that's awesome. And honestly, that is definitely a big difference between men and women. A lot of guys are like that, where women, we're so affected by what other people think of us and what other people do and say, and we're like, we'll do a post and we'll get ready to post on Facebook, and we're like, what will she think of me? What will he think of me? And so it definitely comes a little easier for guys. It also comes a little easier for athletes. So any of you that maybe have played sports growing up, it might be a little bit easier for you. For some of us, oh boy, have I had to do my work on this one. This never came easy for me, guys. Never, ever, ever. I was so And every once in a while, I'll find myself going back to my old habit, but I can snap myself out of it very quickly. You can learn pattern interrupts. So when you see yourself worried about what other people think, when you see yourself slipping and becoming more externally motivated, you can do things like, I don't know if you guys, oh gosh, I'm forgetting her name. I'm drawing a total blank. She's a major on YouTube, and she does all kinds of podcasts, but she has a pattern interrupt that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whenever she catches herself doing that. Anybody know the name? Want to help me out in the chat? I've talked about this on my team calls before. She's a pretty blonde, but I love her voice. But she really talks about pattern interrupts. Another thing you can do is just stop. Just say the word stop. You get with your physiology, you just put your hand out and you just yell stop when you catch yourself slipping into that. So there's things like that that you can teach yourself. It's a skill, guys, and it's something that you can overcome. So don't feel like if you've always been this way, that it's something you can't change. Absolutely. If you want to change it, you can. Yes, we're going to take some questions, Marina, for sure. I've got like 2 more things I want to say, and then we're going to open it up for questions. Another thing is team culture. So I know on my team, we've built a team culture. We didn't have it in the beginning, but we made a decision. I remember very clearly sitting at a conference with Susan, and she looked at me and she said, we don't have much of a team culture. And I'm like, well, we're going to go home and change that. And we started it immediately. We started a mastermind group where we get our leaders together when we do a Zoom call once a week, and we come out with programs, incentives, maybe doing 30-day groups together so that we can work together in a unified way for the good of the whole team, and we get people to share. So it's not always me. This is the thing. I learn from my team. I learn from my leaders. I don't have all the answers. I'm still learning and growing every single day. I have great ideas, and when I have them, I love to put them out there, but I'll put an idea out there and I'll have other people add to it until it's really something special. So really work on that. Even if you guys have 5 team members, start a team culture now. What do you want your team to look like? Do you want it to be fun? Do you want people to be positive? Do you want to encourage positivity and get rid of negativity? On our product page, you guys, we have, I don't even know, like 50 admin and we make the post be approved so that if someone is having a bad day and they throw up on their cleanse and they write this awful post, we don't allow it to go in there. We just don't allow it because our team culture is positive. We will individually deal with that person. We'll let the coach know someone's struggling, reach out to them, help them, but we don't want it to clutter up our page and really get someone nervous that's maybe brand new looking at this and wanting to do this, and then they see a negative comment like that and it scares them. So we take measures like that to keep our team culture positive. We do team calls, we attract great leaders, and we ask questions, and we really work on that team call being something that we all get on. If we can get on live, we get on live. If we can turn our videos on, we turn the videos on, and we record it for people that work and are unable to get on live. But we do all of these things to create a great team culture. So start now. If you haven't done this yet, I don't care if you have 2 people on your team, start now. What do you want your team culture to look like? And then the last thing I want to share before we move on to questions is speak your vision as if it's already happened. So I did a really great, went to a really great training on Friday night. If you guys get the Shine Your Light tour anywhere near you, and I'm saying if you have to drive 4 or 5 hours, it is worth it, with Laura Stevens and Kelly Dickerhoof. It is all about dreaming and vision casting, and they take you through this this whole experience, and it's absolutely amazing. And they ask questions like, what are places you want to travel to? What did you dream about when you were a child? And they give you time to write all your answers. And if you had an extra $1,000 a month, what would you do with it? And it couldn't be paying bills. It couldn't be helping other people. They wanted you to be selfish with it. What would you do if you could spend $1,000 on yourself? Questions like that. If you could eliminate 3 stresses from your life, what would they be? What are the 3 things you're most passionate about? So they had you do all of these things. You filled out this whole paperwork, and then what they have you do is go home and read all of those things. Do like a voice recording into your phone and read it as if it's already happened. So I'm just going to give you a couple of them for me, just so you understand what I'm talking about. So it might be, when I was a child, I wanted to be a famous singer. I wanted to be, excuse me. I am a famous singer. I am a mom with a big, happy family. I am a news broadcaster. I inspire people, giving them hope. I spend time with my entire family. I'm constantly giving to others financially and with my time. I adopt children through World Vision. I help people on my team with needs. I donate to our Legacy Foundation, Friends in Need and Family in Need. I am living my dream job. I am earning $1 million per year. So you're putting it in the present tense, acting as if it's already happened. So that's what we want you guys to do with your vision. You guys are writing about your vision daily. You're answering all these questions. So be thinking about that as if it's already happened. And for some of you, that might sound kind of hokey. For me, when I first started hearing about this and even positive affirmations, it was a challenge for me. I didn't grow up setting goals either. I didn't grow up saying nobody's had positive affirmations. I grew up in a very negative environment. So this was something that I really had to spend a lot of time and teach myself. But guys, you can master it. So if there's anything that you're feeling less than in as you're working on this program, I want you to reframe that, and I want you to act as if you've already conquered it, because you will. But you have to do this daily, every single day, creating that habit so that you don't slip back and say, I'm not good at this. I wasn't, I didn't grow up in a positive atmosphere, so it's hard for me to have a positive attitude. I didn't grow up feeling like I was a leader. I was a follower, so I can't view myself as a leader now. You really have to change the words that come out of your mouth, because they're very, very powerful. And not only the words, but the thoughts that you say in your head, because we can be so mean to ourselves, and that's got to stop. If you want to be a great leader, you have to step up, build yourself into that, become the leader you want to attract. All right. So we're going to take any comments. We're going to take questions now. Open the lines, unmute yourself. And Mel Robbins, Jen Gardner, I love you. It was Mel Robbins. Thank you. Had a total brain meltdown on that.
Cindy, can I add real quick onto what you were just talking about, visions?
Please.
And onto being internally motivated. A huge way to become internally motivated, which is really built into this program, is visions and goal setting. And once you're so crystal clear on your vision and just making no excuses towards your goals, that's how you stay internally motivated, and nothing can veer you from that path once you're crystal clear on it, and just not letting any of that external stuff affect you, and just staying so clear on that vision. That's probably the most important step you can take to making that leap to becoming internally motivated. But I just want to throw that in there, because this program is going to help you a lot with getting your visions in all aspects of your life. But that's very important.
Very important. Absolutely. Marina, do you have a question? Is that why you asked the question?
I do. I was being very patient and waiting. So I actually have a couple questions, and I don't want this to be too lengthy. But anyway, I struggle with the dilemma. I am a teacher, and I've been teaching for 30 years, 5- and 6-year-olds. So I'm a leader to them, and I'm a good leader to them. And I have an assistant who I've been, I guess, a leader to, for 10 years, the same assistant. We're friends. But she can be very defensive, and that's what I struggle with. I struggle with somebody who, doesn't just say, okay, who kind of puts their back up a lot. So that's one thing I struggle with. So then I push back. Another thing is I have a small team. A lot of the consultants that I had enrolled 2 people in their family. So I don't know if they necessarily want to build a business, or if they, were just trying to get that initial payment. I'm not sure. So maybe I need to find out more about that. And then another thing I tried, what Erica had suggested, was to suggest to people a post that they could post, ask what they liked about Isagenix, how have they changed, all of the questions that she had mentioned. And then I came up with a post for them and said, would you be willing to post this on your Facebook? And they said they would think about it, and nobody really has. So then I don't know where to go from there. And then another thing is, with a couple of people that I think are going to be leaders, I give them suggestions, and they seem good with the suggestions, and then they don't follow through. So then I wonder, okay, maybe there's something I'm doing wrong, because the people that I think I'm helping to lead are not following through. So I don't know what to do after that.
Okay, great
Do I
question.
keep trying? Do I just keep trying?
Great questions. Anyone else feel that way in any of her questions? Yeah, several of you. Okay. So this is my greatest advice on that. Guys, I have had people that could be amazing leaders in this company, and they just don't see it. I never give up on them, because someday I feel like they might get the vision of this. But if they don't want it, we can't want it more for them than they want it for themselves. So it's a numbers game, and we just need to keep moving on. Now, I continue to follow up with people. So one thing you can do with people that have expressed interest, people that have been consultants before, people that have expressed interest in leadership, the new associate checklist is something that you can always go back to with people. I've had a lot of people that I coach personally, and that's a great question they ask of me, Marina. And what I'll suggest to them is, why don't you try to get a 15-minute call with them and tell them that you just learned, because Kathy Coover really, really recommends this new associate checklist. She used this as she was building her businesses, and this was one thing she equates a lot of her success to. Go back and see if they'll spend 15 minutes. That checklist, like John was saying, how important the vision and the why is, that gets to the heart of what their vision and their why is. So if their why is just, hey, if someone asks, they'll share it with them. They really have no vision. They don't want to earn free products. They don't want to earn extra money. Then and you'll know kind of how to deal with them moving forward. But if they say to you, my why is, I would just love to be able to take a vacation once a year with my family and not have to put it on a credit card, to be able to pay for it in cash. I would love to be able to have a great Christmas and not have to pay for it for 2 months afterwards. And that will really dig those things out of them. So that's one of my pieces of advice on that. As far as the Facebook posts, if they acted as if they were willing to do it, follow up with them again. Guys, don't feel like you're a pest or you're a nag. We will be exceptional leaders when we offer awesome customer service. PK Smith is someone that we coach with a lot. He's done events for our team. He's done group coaching, and he basically tells us that we need to be expert customer service representatives for our company. And that's what you do when you follow up with people. I don't worry about someone saying, you followed up with me 3 times now, and I find that, very annoying. I don't worry about that. I've had people that I have followed up with, 20 times before they've enrolled with me. And how many of you guys have heard Susan Sly's story about, 29 times her person reached out to her before she said yes? And so many people do not do the business right away. They get started and their intent wasn't the business. So it really takes something like a big why, a big vision. Some people, it might be an incentive. Some people are excited about Disney because they can't afford to take their family to Disney. So that incentive got people fired up, and now they're a little more open to the business because they'd like to take their kids to Disney. So keep following up with people, ask questions, become a professional question asker, and then listen to what they're saying so you know how to help them, versus me seeing so much, I could look at Gina and say, oh my gosh, she's got all the potential in the world. I cannot believe she doesn't get this. It could drive me nuts because I want her to be a leader, but that's not going to work until I get to the heart of her why. Why does she want to do this? That's the only thing that's going to move the needle for her. Does that help at all?
It does. And I think what I really need to do as well is just reach out to all of my consultants and just ask them what their goals are. What do you want out of this, and just to see, because I feel like I don't know. So I need to become a better question asker.
Yep. And that's not hard to do, not hard to do. And it's never too late to go back to people and ask, and how many of you, your goals have changed since you started with Isagenix?
Mhm.
I mean, mine have. My original goals, guys, I came for the business, and all I wanted was for the first time in my life to create a six-figure income. I thought, oh, if I can help people and create a six-figure income for my family, that's going to be the biggest game changer in the world. Well, then I did it. So then my goals had to change. Now my goals are more wrapped around, I want to create six-figure income earners on my team. I want them to be earning six figures and be able to enjoy what we've been able to enjoy with time freedom. So your goals change, so will your team. So it's great to revisit that with them over and over again. Absolutely. All right. Who else has a question or comment about the program so far this week? Are you enjoying it? Is it helping you? Do you have questions?
I honestly think it's tough.
Yeah?
The first day or two was okay, but now I'm really feeling like I have to kind of dig deep and soul search and really, it's something that I've never done for myself before. I mean, it's hard. I'm pushing myself to do it because I know that it's going to be beneficial in my everyday life. So it's kind of bittersweet. If that makes sense. Yeah.
How many of you agree with her that it's a bit hard? Yeah. I've had a couple people privately reach out to me and say that, and they're like, oh, I've got to dig deep. And that's because you guys are doing it right, and you're really taking time and answering the questions, because you could zoom through this in no time at all and just, type away answers and zoom through it, but you will not get what you want to get out of it. For those of you that are feeling like it's tough, it's challenging, you're having to dig deep, you're having to think through your answers on this, you're the ones that are going to see the results. So stay strong with it. When you have a day that you're discouraged, say you get up in the morning and you're just not feeling it, close it down, come back to it in a few hours, have some Ionix tea, have an e-shot, do whatever you need to do, get back to it, and go back with it with a fresh mind, fresh attitude, because that's what you want. You want it to be tough, because guys, if it's not challenging for you, if it's not tough, if it's too easy, it's not going to yield the results you want it to yield. And you're here because you want to be a more effective leader, right? That's why we're all here. We want to be better leaders. We want to be better for our team. We want to attract more leaders to our team. So fight through that toughness, do the work, and then get so fired up at every little thing that you can celebrate along the way. Celebrate and share it in the group. This group, the Facebook group, I want you guys to be very active in. So comment in there. I don't care if you're commenting every single day. I love today's work. Oh my gosh, today was a huge challenge. Today was a struggle. Did anyone else have a struggle on this question? How did you guys answer it? Really bond. I want this group to feel like you're your own little community with the same goals, and that this is your safe haven to talk things through for the next 45 days. Okay? Awesome. One more question, and then we'll close for the night. Question or comment? All right, guys. Well, we are loving, now this is the first time we've done this program. So Rod probably has, 15 programs out there right now. He's working on another 100 assets. He calls them assets. There's going to be a youth program coming out. We got to see a drug addict, a recovering drug addict at this retreat, and they're doing a program for addiction, all addiction. So it could be food addiction, sugar addiction, drugs, alcohol. I mean, there are so many programs coming. It's absolutely incredible. This is one I've been looking forward to doing it. So we're excited to be doing this with you, alongside you, and we're facing the same thing you guys. Some of these questions are hard for us too. So don't feel like you're alone in this. We're all in this together, and together we will really get to the point where at the end of the 45 days, we're feeling better about ourselves. We've got a little more confidence about our leadership skills. We feel a little better about talking about the opportunity to other people, and we feel really good about being able to attract people into our business for the business. So have a great week, guys. I'm not sure if John or Susan are going to be leading the call next week, but we're gonna all be on here to add value. John, is there anything you want to say before we close out?
Just stay strong with everything. Like, you guys made a huge step by just getting involved in this program in general. So just stay consistent, go in, make sure you make thoughtful entries, put effort into them. And that's the way you're going to get a lot out of this, and just keep killing it. And we're excited to go through this program with you guys and do these calls and help hold you guys accountable, and just use this as a community to interact and grow together.
Awesome. All right, guys, we love you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday night.
Night, guys.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everybody.